Mid last year, I uploaded my first video to this channel in a long time. My goal was to dedicate some of my free time to making videos on the internet about my illustration and writing journey. Over the past year, I've made over 35 videos and I've learned a lot, not only about what it takes to try and grow a small YouTube channel, but also a lot of things about creativity, filming skills, and how to stay sane and not burn out with a YouTube project like this one. So here are some of the things that I've learned over the past year. Most important one probably is the importance of staying consistent with YouTube. I think everybody probably knows that the more videos you create, the more views you get and your channel will grow quicker. And apart from the very early days when I was creating videos back in 2013 on another channel, I've always struggled with trying to stay consistent. But last year I really wanted to sink my teeth into trying to create an illustration-based channel, so I thought I need to stay consistent with that. And more or less, when I found that I am consistent with uploading, YouTube does definitely favour that. On the most part, I have tried to stick with a consistent weekly schedule, especially for this year. Of course, there have been times when I've missed a week or two in between, but I've definitely tried to stay with that, and I have seen some decent results and got a lot of data that I've been able to sort of try and work through from that as well, which has been great. On the other side though, I have deliberately missed out weeks occasionally just to avoid burnout, and I'll talk more about that later in the video. Another thing that I learned with YouTube is that it loves niches, and the more you can stick with a niche, the more it will love you. Originally, when I started last year doing more consistent videos, I was thinking that I wanted this channel to be dedicated to illustration, writing, and then also science stuff as well. The illustration videos are very easy and fun to make. The writing videos are very easy and fun to make, but they require a bit more action happening in them because writing is very much in your head and you can't really see that process happening on paper, so that was a bit more difficult in a way. And then the science communication were a lot harder to make, do take a lot more time, and basically overall just take a lot more energy to make. The finished version of them is usually something to be proud of, but it's the lead up to that that does take a long time. And in order to try and stay consistent but also stay within a niche, I have decided to try and stay more on the illustration front with not really that many writing videos, although I plan to splatter a few more around. That is a weird term. We'll just keep going with it. And the science ones have taken a seat on the back burner. Where am I going with this? So my niche at the moment is illustration videos, but I was going to say that working within a niche does bring more creativity if you allow it to. So although my niche at the moment is illustration and my journey of illustration and also my journey of this channel, I am planning on trying to bring some more sciencey writing things into that, but still stay within illustration. I have some ideas and I'll probably leave them to next year to actually get started on. But I guess the main thing that I have learnt is that even though with a YouTube channel where you do sort of put yourself into a box, into a niche, that box doesn't have to be a small tight corner that you're stuck in. You can sort of try and bring other aspects in through creativity. I've sort of lost myself with this segment. I guess the point is that to have a YouTube channel, you do usually have to have a niche, but that can bring creativity to it and you're not particularly trapped even though you have sort of put yourself into a box. Hope that makes sense. One thing I've learned over the past year is knowing why I make these videos. I mean, the overarching reason why I started was to try and grow a community and just have more people that know my art and could purchase it online and watch these videos and make a bit of a passive income, I guess. And that's probably why a lot of people create channels, and there's honestly nothing wrong with that. So that was the reason why I entered into it, but obviously when you do start a channel, the results are pretty minimal. And the reason I do keep going with it is that I still do have that hope that one day something may turn around and I may make a bit more of a passive income from this channel. But over this past year, I've definitely gained a lot of motivation to keep going with these videos because basically I want to try and improve these videos and make them a lot more prettier looking and improve my editing and filming skills along the way, and just more or less try and create a portfolio of videos that I'm happy with and I'm proud to show everybody. And this is something that does just keep motivating me to create these videos, because at the moment the numbers are not indicating that I'm going to earn money from it, but I'm definitely earning skills and experience from it. And that is something that does keep me coming back. So I've learnt that about myself. I am both externally and intrinsically motivated by these videos. Who would have thought? Talking about improving, over the last year, obviously I have learned a lot more about filming and editing YouTube videos. I already knew quite a bit about editing, but the filming part I've always been quite bad at, and I haven't ever really learned properly. But through trial and error, we're slowly getting there. Looking at my first video that I started with last year, it was very yellow from memory, very grainy, not very good. And I don't think I had a voiceover either, but look at me now. Hopefully we're a little bit less yellow, a little bit less grainy, and I'm talking to a camera. So we've improved. Obviously I still get it wrong sometimes. This video isn't perfect, but I'm constantly learning, so it's great. Over the last year, I've also learned that people really like just following a journey and a story with you. And that's more the reason why I do try and put out these videos, especially when I'm failing, because not only is it entertaining, but people get to share the highs and the lows, and that's really nice. And it does make it a lot easier to create videos because you don't have to have a perfectly scripted video like this one every week. You can just have a bit more of a chaotic thing, and people will sometimes appreciate that one more. So it's good. A big one that I've learned this year and that I've always been conscious of is avoiding burnout. I really don't want to try and put my all into this channel and then just have a huge sort of burnout session and never touch it, or don't touch it for like a couple months, because that would not be ideal. So my main goal when it comes to this channel is to try and create a video every week, but I don't really stick to that goal, and I deliberately try and make that flexible. And more or less, as long as I'm making at least 1 or 2 videos a month, then I'm happy. And with that sort of flexible mentality, I've learned that the pressure's off, and usually I do end up making 3 or 4 videos a month, which is ideal. But the most important thing is that I don't feel like I have to stick with that number. And I think so far that's helped me avoid any sort of burnout. Occasionally I do deliberately skip 1 or 2 weeks of not uploading anything. At the moment I'm trying to stick with the mantra of distance makes the heart grow fonder. If you've ever heard of that sort of quote before, it's usually used in romantic relationships, meaning that when you're apart, you know, your heart grows fonder for that person and you want to be reconnected with them and everything. And I try and apply the same idea to this channel. I usually do really want to create and upload a video, but sometimes I deliberately take 1 or 2 weeks off to just sort of increase that excitement in a way, and to take a break and sort of let my mind think about things. And so far it's worked in that I haven't lost the drive and the want to try and keep uploading these videos. So I'll let you know how that goes in the long term. But so far that seems to be quite a decent method to keep up with. So that is something that I've tried to learn over this past year. You don't have to go all in constantly. You can take a step back, and that usually leads to better things. Growing a community is actually good fun. I don't think this is something that I've learned, but it's definitely something that I've noticed. It brings a lot of happiness to me when I see the same people coming back and commenting on my videos. It does feel like I am growing something on this channel, and even if it's just a small bunch of nice people, then that is perfect, and it's just great. It's really enjoyable. So those are some of the things that I've noticed or learned over the past year when it comes to this small little YouTube channel of mine. Basically, I'm just trying to focus on keeping it fun and not focus too much on the numbers. It's very exciting to get caught up in the numbers, especially when a video is doing really well. But on the whole, I'm trying to be optimistic in that as long as I do keep uploading things and keep adding to this channel in one way or another, then hopefully everything will sort of come together and it will just keep growing and flourishing in one form or another. So I'm really looking forward to another year of all this, and who knows where I'll be this time next year. Hopefully in a good place. Space and place. So as usual, thank you very much for watching. Thanks so much for subscribing. If you haven't already, you know where the button is. And that was a bit creepy, wasn't it? I'll see you again in another video. Bye.